Hey guys, it's Mo, and from Mo in the Deep End, I'm doing a couple quick little videos this morning before I got my hair did. So you're just going to have to listen to my beautiful, beautiful voice. And we will today be going over two People articles about Rex Heuermann, the, alleged Long Island serial killer. Um, it does seem a little ironic to me that right after their, whole big press conference, like, we're not talking to the media, out of the word work comes either their publicity people talking to people or, I I would be interested to see how loosely and tangentially related to the actual case these, inside sources are. But it's people, and I'm already checking it to make sure if, other stuff I don't know. To make sure Sam Elliott is still alive because, 2023 needs him. So I figured we'd go over these articles. And this first one is the police revealing how Rex Heuermann reacted to being arrested in the Gilgo Beach murder cases. Now, uh, this man is in a turtle suit, which I think we all find hilarious. Um, Obviously, he is presumed innocent, but he seems to have had um, or have left what we like to call all of the evidence on his cell phones and burner cell phones. He was halfway there in getting away with it. Also, all the searches to make sure he was not the wrong person. Yeah, the man just, he was halfway there. But let's see. This is by Christine Peselek and Sean Newman, which I didn't think you'd need to. You know what? It's 2023. Maybe we need one person to write and one person to fact check. Who knows? Rex Heuermann, the police allege, is a Long Island serial killer, was very quiet, quote, when the police arrested him last Thursday on allegations that he murdered three women, not women's, more than a decade ago. Suffolk County Police Commissioner Rodney K. Harrison tells uh, people. So, wow, the commissioner, after, like, we're not going to talk to the media. Listen, to be very fair and quite human with it, if people wanted to talk to me about anything, like, let me run my redheaded big mouth about anything if I got a people, cover. I'm just saying. My mother would be so proud. Tells people Heuermann, 59, quote, kept to himself and, quote, made no statements when he was taken into custody in Midtown Manhattan. Quote, I believe once our officer said he was under arrest, he said, why? And that's pretty much the most that I'm being told what he said. Interesting, end quote, said Harris. People read Heuermann or police read Heuermann his Miranda rights, and Heuermann, quote, "said he wanted a lawyer," Harris said. Oh my god, the first person in this entire, criminology stuff that we've been following that has learned to shut the F up, and it's this guy. And he's been quiet since he's been over at Riverhead Correctional Facility, Harris adds. Meanwhile, authorities are reportedly searching Heuermann's house in search of forensic evidence related to the allegations. Heuermann, a Manhattan architect and a married father of two, was charged with 3 counts of first-degree murder and 3 counts of second-degree murder in the deaths of Amber Costello, 27, Melissa Bartholomé, 24, and 22-year-old Megan Waterman. He's pleaded not guilty. He's also considered the prime suspect in the death of 25-year-old Maureen Brainerd Barnes. The four women's remains. Okay, guys, we know all of this, but these are the pictures of the victims. So, way to go, people, for taking like two sentences of a police commissioner, you know, press release and, turning it into a full daggone article. I'm just saying y'all are grinding over there. Hustle the hustlers, because I clicked on it, so other people did. The case remained unsolved for more than a decade and gained notoriety after the investigation became the focus of author Robert Kohler's 2013 best-selling nonfiction book, Lost Girls, and later a true crime Netflix movie of the same name. The killer allegedly used 4 separate burner phones to contact the women to, quote, "lure them out to Massapequa," Suffolk County District Attorney Ray Tierney told People last week. Quote, "Then he would murder them, and then he would discontinue the use of the burner phone. He did that 4 times," end quote. Family members of some of the victims also reported receiving taunting phone calls from a man who claimed to be the killer. This is the big that is I mean, the level of demon you have to be to not only unalive someone, but to then call and taunt their family. Like, look, I have a certain person in my life who, you know, I struggle to not yell the C word at her every time I see her, but I smile and I don't because I'm working on myself. Can you imagine you unalive someone's family member and then look, y'all, I'm just saying, like, guilty on all counts just for that BS. And the family gets to do you in if I'm the judge of the world, which I'm not, so we're kinda good. Alright, this kind of goes up into other things, and I wanted to get to this other article real quick, so give you kind of a short little some small little stuff. There will also be another video coming out today where we discuss, some of his other properties and what's going on there because I do know that he has, I believe, a timeshare in, uh, Arizona and another property in North Carolina, and I know that police are really searching both of those. I have always said since this case kinda came out that I believe he is going to probably become one of our more prolific serial unalivers. Uh, I don't think he just started, randomly in his middle age. Um, I think that he's honestly gotten a little sloppy with these particular ones as far as using burner phones and calling back. Not sloppy, he didn't account for technology, expanding and or he didn't realize technology and look, as a person as a professional unrealizer of technology, I could understand. But let's read this other, again, not talking to the media blitz. I love the absolute, like, we're we're definitely not talking to the medias also. Let me talk to people. Our world is a silly world and a stupid world sometimes, and I'm here for it. Gilgo Beach detective describes putting together puzzle of suspected monster serial killer. Again, I am just tickled pink that he is in a turtle suit. And it looks like this one has fairly new Velcro, so there will be no Groves sort of unintentional peen looking. And I know you guys are waiting for that. I'm going to try to see if Excited Utterance can come on sometime soon, and we'll do a review of that case because it is all the tawdry, it is all the Walmart, and it is just ridiculous. A week after a Gilgo Beach murder suspect, Rex Heuermann, was charged, or Suffolk County Police Commissioner Rodney Harrison is comparing the case to putting a puzzle together. Oh my god, if they do another PowerPoint like they did in the Chandler Halderson with the pieces of the puzzles, which Could have been in poor taste because, they were found in pieces, but don't tell prosecutors that. That would have it would have, not allowed us to have the funniest moment ever with that PowerPoint and the irony. The irony. Alright. In a new interview, Harrison, 54, opened up to the Sunday Times about how fresh eyes finally helped lead to the arrest following the murders of at least 3 women on Long Island more than a decade ago. Quote, "I think there was some good work but unfortunately, homicides are putting puzzles together. You have to grab so many different pieces," Harrison said, noting that an off-site team dedicated to the killings pushed this case in the right direction. Heuermann, 59, has been accused of killing Megan Waterman, 22, Melissa Bartholomé, 24, and Amber Costello, 27, whose bodies were discovered in 2010 in the marsh at Gilgo Beach on Long Island. He has since pleaded not guilty and is scheduled to be back in court in early August. I feel bad because this seems like a beautiful beach to just walk down. Harrison reiterated in his conversation with the Times that the police still have, quote, 6 other bodies over there at Ocean Parkway that we need to investigate, which he said is something that's going to take a while to put together. He also credited, quote, "very hardworking pit bull of a district attorney in Ray Tierney," end quote, for helping move things along. There's a You'll have to excuse me. I thought getting up at 6 o'clock would stop, the childrening, but no. They apparently decided they woke up this morning and chose violence and loudness already. But this is why you come here. This is the spice that makes my channel a whole ball of chaos. Let's be very honest. Oh, it wouldn't be a Mo video unless you heard children yelling in the background. There's an ongoing investigation, Harrison said. We have one serial killer and we'll determine if there's multiple or several, but it's hard to determine if Rex Heuermann is attached to the other bodies that were discovered near Gilgo. I wouldn't want to speculate. This is actually something that heartens me. I'm hopeful that this isn't just a line that they're feeding us because I do want there to be a separate investigation with these other bodies because we have talked about the, oh gosh, Henry Lee Lucas case where basically police departments were just coming in and kind of feeding Henry Lee Lucas little bits and pieces of the case to take, missing cases off their books. And rather than finding the real killer, they were just kinda like, "Oh, this guy's gonna confess. This guy will confess." He confesses to everything because he wanted to be somewhat infamous and they wanted cases off their books. So, families did not get real justice in that. They just got, a guy who said he did it when it was later proven that he was in nowhere in the vicinity. So, I can't imagine what those families were going through. The police commissioner also defended referring to Heuermann as a demon who walks among us, a predator that ruined lives during the conference last week. If you have destroyed multiple families and taken a loved one away from them, in my eyes, you're a monster. I don't care how vulgar or how harsh it sounds. Ask the families to have me put in a different phrase. Truth, I would have called him a boil on the taint of humanity, so, I mean, demon and monster that walks among us. Have y'all seen the internet? I mean, if that's what Helen Lovejoys are upset about, I hope they've never gone on, like, Reddit. They might hear some Gamergate words. Might be terrible for them. They'll overgasp themselves. For the investigation, Harrison formed a task force of members of the FBI, state police, and authorities from Suffolk County as well, all of whom brought the investigation closer to Heuermann's Chevrolet Avalanche vehicle and traced some calls. Suffolk County DA Tierney previously told People that the police used tower data, a witness's description of his Chevrolet Avalanche, and DNA found from 5 hairs found on 3 of the victims to narrow in on a suspect. If you wanna see kind of a more detailed picture of that or you want to learn more about that, I did do a video about the bail application request form, where they lay out, I believe in 32 pages, all of the info that they've had up to now and kind of why they don't want this man to have bail, but it almost reads a bit like a probable cause affidavit. So, it's a lot of information. They have pictures for those of us who can't visualize, so I definitely recommend going back and looking at that because it is a lot of information, and, it really paints a clear picture of why this look, if it isn't this dude, he is the most unluckiest of, patron of women on Craigslist that also has 97,000 burner phones ever and an Icelandic wife. One of the biggest problems of the earlier investigation was that we didn't have our perpetrator's DNA on file. That's nothing to do with the quality of the evidence that was collected. There was just no DNA to match it, Harris told The Times. People specifically collected an abandoned sample, or police specifically collected an abandoned sample from the suspect by taking bottles from a bin outside his home and later a discarded pizza box in Manhattan that he had used. The box matched the DNA on the hair found on Waterman's remains, and the outlet noted. Heuermann is also considered a prime suspect in the death of Maureen Brainerd Barnes. All 4 women had worked as online escorts and had been missing from 2007 to 2010. Normally I don't like People because it's people, but this is the first publication that I've seen actually list the women and their ages, and then waits several paragraphs before they went into their, what they chose to work at, and, I feel like, that that was more respectful than a lot of the other ones where they're like, "She was an escort, she was a sex worker, da da da." So, People, gold star for you for humanity, which you cover a lot of the Kardashians, so you rarely get a star. Let me see here. Yes. Harrison told People this week that the alleged serial killer's family, his wife and 2 kids, were in shock and disbelief following the news of his arrest. Quote, "We had to kind of show them some type of proof to let it be known who their father was behind the curtain," the police commissioner said. "But they're cooperating. They're currently, I'm being told, in a hotel." I feel these are some of those ripple victims that you don't think about, but I really feel terrible for his children and his wife. I mean, as far as it seems, since he seemed to really have a pattern of only doing these things when his wife and children were out of state or out of the country, I feel terribly bad for them as far as, I'm sorry that they're having to go through this. I can't imagine your life imploding upon you and realizing that your husband's not only, not who you thought he was, but a monster, a demon to other families. I couldn't imagine, and I hope they are safe. I hope that they will get the help they need to recover as much as they possibly can from this. He added that he's very happy that we got Heuermann off the street and we're making the community safer. Heuermann had no arrest, which is very bizarre. The architect had a good job, had a family, but suddenly we were able to put the pieces of the puzzle together, get it in the right direction be able to get a point where we need probable cause against Mr. Hierman, he told police. Now he's in a jail cell. Well, so those are the 2 things. Um, Again, it's kind of I love the fact that, at the police, congratulations sort of press conference, they're like, "Don't talk to the media." And then the top people, after they are done, clapping themselves on the back for a wonderful job, go talk to all the medias. But, I mean, that's how us true crime people get our information, so as long as it's not really hurting the case, I guess, but I will see you guys later. I am covering things with Broken Baker this week, and we should have fun, and I will see you all on the next video where we talk about some of these properties that, he has that may be linked to other missing people, according to also the media that we weren't supposed to be talking to. I will see you guys later. Please like and subscribe and share with your friends if you think this is worth sharing. Have a great day.